Hey everybody, Jeremy here. In my quest to reach 100 videos released this year, I'm up against the firing squad, and I am doing another live stream right now because I just did not get anything recorded yesterday. So what we're going to do today is we're going to run through the install of the Ubuntu 22.04 daily image for the Jammy server in Proxmox, and hopefully we're going to make short order of this. So I am going to go ahead and get started, and I will let people trickle in and catch up as they do. So we're going to create the new image, or excuse me, the new VM. 12, 29, 21 daily OS. We're going to select our image. This is the one I just downloaded this morning, so it's the latest and greatest, and we'll give it 40 gigs of space. Oops. Start off with, and 2 cores and 4 gigs of RAM. Network is bridged, and we'll go ahead and start that after it's created. And we'll hide this little thing down here. And this is going to be VM number 109, and we'll take a look at the console. And get this party started. Now, I did notice one odd thing. I ran through this installer yesterday, and the one odd thing was that after you answer all the questions in the little window, granted this is text mode, but the window looking thing that is up while everything's being installed normally has text scrolling, and it was just a blank square. I do want to point out that this is one new thing right here. It gives you the option of the default Ubuntu server or the minimized server, which is going to be more useful in cloud type applications where, like it says, where humans are not expected to log in. So we're going to stick with the normal server, and it gets the IP address of 102. And we will just continue through this, and we're not going to use LVM this time around. And say done, continue. And of course, we want to install OpenSSH server. We're going to skip the snap stuff. And yes, this is what I was telling you about. This is the part that stays completely blank throughout the installation process. And like in the 20.04 version, it would actually have text scrolling giving you status messages of what's going on here. I have not dug into whether this is a known issue, but I guess we could do that right now because we've got a few minutes. And let's see. See if we can find anything interesting here. So we want past month, and I just want to see if all goes well. We'll run through the Docker install while we're at this. I I do not see anything that looks like a topic related to the problem that I'm seeing. So again, that's just blank. 22.04 server installing system. No status messages. Okay, what do we have? Black screen or login issues. Ubuntu from 5 days ago. We looked at the system status page for different services. No, that's not it. What do we have? Might let's see what let's try install bugs. And that's okay. This is relatively recent. Good morning, Jacob. Welcome. Trying to meet my quota of having 100 videos out by the end of this year, and so we're doing a spur of the moment fly by the seat of my pants live stream. We are installing Ubuntu Jammy Server. This is the 22.04 daily build. And as you can see here on the screen, it when it's installing, it does not put up the normal status messages to let you know what's happening. I will say, though, the install does go pretty quick. I would make sure my optical is ejected, and we can get this rebooted. Is this 100? Not sure what you mean by that, Jacob. Okay. Hopefully this will show us logged in. Still throwing up status messages. So once this is, there we go. Once this is up, verify we're still at 102. So I'm going to switch over to my terminal. All right, so we are into the new server. I thought since everybody else is getting on the bandwagon and doing videos on 22.04 using the daily images, well, I'll join the fun. So, good morning, James. Welcome. So we've got a basic server install here. I'll make this a little bit bigger, and maybe if I it doesn't let me move my head. Test, test, test. Okay, appears to be back. Can you hear me now? I didn't think there was a problem with on my end, but could be with StreamYard. Okay, audio's back. All right. Good to know. I think that was a StreamYard issue because I didn't really adjust anything here on my end. Webcam is not off. Webcam is not off. It is it's all related to it's all related to it's the audio is running through an audio interface, so the webcam has nothing to do with the audio. Okay, well, we'll just have to deal with that. And okay, well, show must go on. Okay, audio should be back now. I'm hearing it on my phone, so I'm going to press forward. And while I'm doing the Docker install, I will not be monitoring chat quite as much. So we will go ahead and get this moving. Okay, so I get the right instructions in front of me. So we've done the updates. And the first thing we install is the dependencies. And there's no version of Docker installed. So we are going to use the new commands for Ubuntu 22.04. And instead of adding the repository, or excuse me, instead of adding the GPG key with curl, we are just adding the repository. And then we're going to update again. And then we're going to install okay, this is interesting. This did not happen when I did this on the other VM. Okay. Let's try this one. Well, let's forge ahead and see if this is just going to crash and burn on me. I must have missed some step up here. This is why I still have not done a huge amount of videos on Docker. All right. We did the transport and the certificates and GPG agent. Okay. Ubuntu 22.04. Let's try this again. Enter to continue. Okay. That one more time. Hey, that looks better. That was what I was expecting. And just for the sake of argument, if anybody's looking for the instructions I'm using for this, I am following along with this computingforgeeks.com article for the specific instructions for Ubuntu 22.04. or yes, 22.04. Okay, so the next one we're going to run is, oops, not that. Getting overzealous with my copying and pasting. I'm going to add the current user to the group Docker, and then we're going to add the group Docker, and then version. We are in fact installed now. At version 20.10.12. Okay. And keeping with the spirit of how I like to use Docker, I'm going to let's just do this. We're just going to do this. We're going to create a volume for Portainer. And then we're going to go ahead and run Portainer as a daemon. And that's not going to interfere with anything with Cockpit. And it's going to pull the images down. Okay. Docker PS. You can see that our Portainer container is actually running. And so I'm here. Oh, grab the wrong one. Okay. And we'll create our new admin user. I'm going to allow create. Just use local environment. And then we're ready to start adding containers to this. So let's see. One that I've been using quite a bit at work is Uptime Kuma. And let's we should have somewhere, I know I've used it before. We should have instructions for installing Uptime Kuma in a stack, which makes it very quick and easy to do. We're going to add a stack. Uptime Kuma. And oops, I'm trying coming over the other window. And so where I generally go, let's see. I normally go over to linuxserver.io, but it does not appear that they've got a setup built for Uptime Kuma. So let's see if we can find something somewhere else. Let's see. All right. So if we just take this here, copy it there, and I'll get this link put in chat. So everything there looks good. For our purposes today, we will say deploy the stack. Failed to deploy a stack top level object in /docker compose YAML. Needs to be an object class, not a string. Okay, so did that not copy what I wanted it to copy? No, it did not. Okay. Copy to clipboard. Try that. Looks better. Okay, let's try this one more time. It's not complaining at me, so that's a good thing. Might take a minute to come up, but I've had really good luck with this Uptime Kuma here. So yeah. So we do in fact have one stack running. That still says starting. And it must be up. Still says starting, but okay. So we'll say never to that. And so we've got our Uptime Kuma up and going. So yeah, from here you can start adding monitors. And so we'll add TCP port monitor. This is going to be PVE dash Optiplex. And port 8006. And we're going to save that. And successfully added. And so, yeah, just like that, we've got the Proxmox server being monitored. If you want to go through and set up notifications, you can do that. You would just need your information for whichever service you want to use for notifications, but it does have options for Telegram and email. I have used this with Gmail before. You've got to set the set your security options to allow quote unquote less secure apps. But it does work. You've also got Discord and Signal, Slack, Rocket Chat, Pushover and Pushy I've never used. This promo SMS, and the click send SMS. I'm assuming you can send SMS messages to your phone. So there are about 4 different options, 1, 2, 3, 4 at least, that do SMS there, plus Mattermost and Matrix and everything else that's listed. So yeah, that gets us through a basic install of Ubuntu Server 2204. Again, this is the daily version. The ISO that was released yesterday, the 12.29.21 version. We've got Cockpit installed. We installed Portainer, and we installed one container on top of Portainer. And just for the sake of argument, the load is pretty low. 328 megs of 4 gigs allocated. Not too bad. Not too bad. In fact, you could run this on a Core 2 Duo machine and make use of it if you wanted to pay for the electricity. And, you know, pretty low on processor usage most of the time as well. So, guess we could throw another stack on here just for the sake of it. I have not run most of these, so this will be an adventure for me as well. So I'm just curious what I might want to put on here. And let's see. I thought I would see something related to like Shinobi or Zone Minder or something like that. But I am not seeing anything like that. We'll take a look. Shinobi Docker Compose. All right. And we will copy this. So you'll have to forgive me. I am still not completely up to speed on the terminology for everything in the Docker Compose files. So I'm just going to run this as is. I don't see any instructions, but let me go back a level and change popular. Okay. Well, let's see if this starts. This is probably going to complain at me because I have not changed anything in the Docker Compose file. Yes, that's exactly what I expected. So that's going to be one I'll have to circle back around to. So maybe I can find something that's a little less intense. That we can go forward with. I'm open to suggestions if you've got a particular Docker container you'd like to see me spin up here on the fly real quick. I mean, I could take where to go? Let's see, latest. They don't have a Docker Compose for Home Assistant there. So that's another one that looks a little more involved. I just want something easy today. My goal is to bring out more Docker videos in 2022. It's something I really should get into a little further than I have. And should make for some interesting videos. But for today, I think I'm happy just leaving it where we're at. Go ahead and delete this one. Now it's happy. But yeah, so just for a basic install and adding Uptime Kuma, which in all honesty, I'm not a fan of installing a bunch of things without first doing configuration. Just the my security and testing background that I've had. I don't like to leave things hanging because I know I have a I have some tendency to procrastinate a little bit, and I don't want to leave myself open to security issues if I can avoid it. So it looks like everything is still coming through. We're at 45 minutes, which is what I had expected. I will probably pull this video. Well, let me back up. I will probably edit this live stream and re-upload it so I can cut out the weird parts where the audio cut out. I may have to order myself at least one new USB cable. If anything, I think it might be related to a flaky cable going to my audio interface. I cannot see how it would be related to my webcam because I don't do audio from the webcam. Yes, the audio is in fact set up to be going through the Behringer, so I should be getting this through the Shure SM7B and not the crap webcam audio. So, on that note, I am going to go ahead and close this out. Hopefully this wasn't too painful, technical issues aside. So, let's see, Jersh. I made some small scripts for Docker and Portainer installs. I also have one to update Portainer as well. Very nice. Do you have those on GitHub or any place? I'd be interested in looking at them if you've got them shared publicly. I am just dipping a toe into the Docker realm. I do have a container running Uptime Kuma at work, but I haven't gone too deep in the learning process of Portainer overall and Docker overall. I'm comfortable enough to follow along with tutorials, and I've had good luck with doing that, but I need to sit down and dig into some of the nitty-gritty of the configuration files, the Docker Compose files, and all that fun stuff, and just get it really clear in my head so that I can not only demonstrate it, but I can actually answer questions that people have and undoubtedly ask 6 months after a video is published. So I had one person ask me the other day why after I install a VM, why I connect to it with SSH. And it's just mind-boggling to me because I've been using SSH for more than 20 years now, and it's just one of those things. If you're going to administer a Linux system, you want to have SSH available as one of your options. That's the way I've looked at it, and until I'm given a really good reason why to look at it differently, I'm going to continue to look at it that way, especially now that, Microsoft has got on the bandwagon and includes OpenSSH in Windows. Not that I'm a big Windows user, but you don't have to install PuTTY anymore, and you can just hit it from the command line. I use Docker in my home lab along with Proxmox. All right, another Proxmox user. Love it. I use a lot of Proxmox. I found that these cheapy used Dell Optiplex machines that I can get at the local university for not much money are really nice to install Docker on, or excuse me, install Proxmox on, and then of course I've run Docker in VMs on top of Proxmox, but I've also experimented with running Docker inside of an LXC container on Proxmox. So jury's still out on that. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the what implications there may be because of security, whether one's better than the other, what the benefits and pitfalls are of going one way or the other. So these are all answers that I want to try to find and be able to share with the audience. All right. And James, you said you just installed Putty on a Windows 10 machine. I think I just removed Putty from my Windows 10 machine. I'm not sure if that's still installed on there or not. I know it's not on my Windows 11 machine. That's my Windows 10 box there. Oh, no Putty. But if I same command is on Linux, and I'm into my VM. We installed during this live stream. So that's I think really all I wanted to cover today. I will likely continue covering Ubuntu 22.04 using the daily images. I'm not quite as interested in showing the desktop version until they get their new installer in place, or they make the call that the new installer is not going to happen for the LTS version. So I believe they're rewriting the installer in Flutter, if I remember correctly, which should be interesting. And yeah. All right. Well, now I just need to uninstall Putty. Well, I'm sorry to create extra work for you, James, but I don't know. My one of my approaches to things, and one of the ways that I've found to be able to bounce fairly fluidly across Windows, Linux, and Mac OS is to use standardized tools as much as possible. So I always tried to avoid I always tried to avoid using Windows for SSH connections until Microsoft got on the bandwagon and included OpenSSH in Windows. And then, well, I take that back. I first started doing it using WSL, and then WSL2, and then I discovered, oh, I can just jump on SSH from either the old command line or the PowerShell. And it works just like on Linux, including the configuration script or configuration file you can put in there. So you can have different SSH keys configured for different servers and all that fun stuff, and have all that in the config file so that you can more easily keep it straight. It's been good. I can't say that I really enjoy using Windows. I don't know. I still have bad memories of all the times I ended up reinstalling Windows 3.1 and Windows 95 and Windows 98 and a couple of editions that I won't name. And Windows 2000 was pretty rock solid. Windows XP was more or less solid. And then it's, been down the crapper from there as far as I'm concerned. But especially with the, Office 365 and all that kind of fun stuff, I don't like the idea of paying subscription prices for software or extortion for software. Give me a one-off price and not have it auto renew, so I could use it for a project and be done with it, and I'm happy. But what can I say? I'm a little old school, and yeah, most of my gaming is console based, and it's old school console based. My latest acquisition for a game is actually a game that's almost 30 years old. I got the PC Engine / TurboGrafx 16 CD version of Castlevania X, also known as Rondo of Blood. I found a listing for the 25th anniversary edition, which included both the original Japanese version and a separate disc with English subtitle or English overdubs. So I am going to be tearing into that game this weekend with a friend and see how far we can get with it. I haven't had my Turbo Duo out in a while, so it'll be nice to get it out and clean it again and put it through its paces. And hopefully I don't have any swelling caps or anything that are going to cause crazy issues. If I do, then that'll be a project for 2022, and it will likely mean sending it out to somebody that has way more soldering skills than I do. So I use Windows for gaming, and honestly, I'm trying to just build a dedicated box to throw on my rack and then just grab a Linux or Mac box. Yeah. That sounds like a solid plan, Jersh. I have all three. I'm not a PC gamer, so I've got a mini PC, a B-Link mini PC running Windows 11. I've got an Optiplex 7010 running Windows 10 because that's identical to the machine and the environment that I've got at work. minus being connected to Active Directory. I've got an Ubuntu machine, a desktop machine on my desk over here to my left. But I've got my 2 Mac Minis, the M1 Mac Mini that I got in August of this year that has hella increased my productivity for video rendering. And then I've got my old 2012 Mac Mini that I still run the occasional VirtualBox session on. But the I should probably log into this just to run updates anyways. But yeah, I do have, is it going to cooperate? Maybe my Ubuntu machine is not cooperating today. This is actually an Optiplex 7040 that I got for a little bit of nothing on eBay. And I've this has 24 gigs of RAM. My mini PC running Windows 11 has 32 gigs. And only because they shipped it with single channel RAM on a Ryzen system, and I couldn't have that. Ryzen is much happier with dual channel RAM. So I'll have to mess with the Ubuntu machine. But and then I've got my rack server isn't up right now, just because I got sick of the noise, and there's nothing mission critical running on that. And so the Proxmox machine I've got is running on an Optiplex 7010. I think I've only got 8 gigs of RAM in that, but I've got the spinning hard drive as well as a solid state in there for VM storage. So that really doesn't do too bad using the original spinning drive for the OS disk, and then using the solid state for VM storage. It actually moves pretty decent. I'm happy to report. All right, so in the hope to keep this right around an hour, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, I apologize for the crazy audio issues that we had earlier, but hopefully when I get back from my trip, I can drop in a new cable or two, and we'll have that sorted. So if you did get something out of this, please take a moment to like and subscribe. And thank you once again, everybody, for watching. I've really enjoyed the support that has come my way this year for this channel, getting me up above 3,000 subscribers, which was pretty amazing. I'm not sure what that person is trying to say down there. But anyways, thank you all for watching and for supporting the channel. And I look forward to bringing you some more great content in 2022. And who knows, I might sneak out one more video tomorrow and end the year at an even 100 released videos. So on that note, I will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Stay safe out there. Don't party too hard on New Year's.